The Tennessee Titans have moved up, and they are on the clock. Let's see what they get. Wow! The Tennessee Titans go quarterback. Malik Willis. So Malik Willis goes to Titans. That tells you right now, you know what? They might get value and say, you know what? We're planning for the future now instead of later. So I don't know if I like this pick. I mean, I think we shouldn't have drafted corner with that second pick. I want to know what the Titans gave up. Did they give up number 90? But the Titans go Malik Willis, who I will say they got great value for him. But this makes me wonder, what the heck are the Titans thinking here? This draft has been very perplexed. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into TNT Tonight draft show from I'm here in Tampa, Florida, and wow, I am flabbergasted by this. The Titans trade up. I don't know. I need to know what they gave up for Malik Willis at this point, but I am very, very confused about this. So welcome into the show. We're going to have Mr. 615 Titans 615 podcast, Lee Hillis, joining me in just a bit. But I am shocked with this pick. I did not expect it. I'm like this. If you're going to go quarterback, why didn't you go quarterback in the first round? And you trade up for this guy. So I'm thinking, what did the Titans give up? And I'm trying to see. They move up to 86. I mean, again, this is great value. The only problem is, the only problem is, so they traded 90 and 169. So they move up. They give up one of their fifth round picks and they move up 4 spots to get Malik Willis. So they still have 2 fourth round picks tomorrow, a 5th and a 6th. So they still have 2 4s, a 5, and 2 6s. Earlier in the draft, they did pick Nicholas Petit Frere from Ohio State as a tackle, but I am absolutely shocked. And now we have Mr. Lee Hillis from the Titans 615 podcast joining the show. Lee, how you doing, good sir? Let's see, trying to get Lee on. I can't get him for just a second. We'll definitely try to get him in just a bit. Let's see. There we go. There you go. We got you now. We got you. But
which, of course, I'm multitasking.
Right, I understand. I am too. I mean, I'm going between. I'm actually going between the this draft and the Grizzlies game, and but I come on just in time with you, and the Titans take a quarterback at 8. They trade up from 86. They trade up from 90 to 86, and they get Malik Willis.
And they also give up 169.
Yeah, they give up one of the 5th round picks. Because remember, y'all, the Titans had 2 third rounders, 69 and 90, which 69 they used on Nicholas Petit Frere, the offensive tackle from Ohio State, which I think that actually is going to come out to be a pretty decent pick. I'm going to have to go back and look at some film on him, but I have heard some good things about him, and I liked what on the commercial what was said with him, and so I thought that I would be very impressed. And so, I mean, I like how, he loves playing fantasy football. He likes playing board games. He said he makes trades, so he's obviously pretty smart. He's obviously pretty smart with money and maybe smart with decisions. So, Lee, I want to get your thought. What do you think of, we're going to go back a little bit and go a little bit further into, talking about some of the stuff from yesterday. But what did you think of this pick with Malik Willis, quarterback at 86, and the offensive tackle from Ohio State at 69?
Well, for me, the Malik Willis pick was one that I felt like we were going to do. But in my head, I'm thinking, because I've been hearing things all day that the Titans were not interested in Malik Willis.
Well, no, the Titans did a lot of homework on all of these quarterbacks. And they did a lot of research on all of these quarterbacks, and Malik Willis as well. And so, I wasn't sure they were going to draft a quarterback at this point, but I'm shocked. I was not expecting this. And Philip Mattis, thank you for the super chat, Philip. On this says, why trade? Didn't have to move up. Arizona, Dallas, Buffalo were ahead of them. None of them was going to draft a quarterback. And I'm looking at some stuff from Twitter, and I think TD was saying that looks like the Raiders were probably getting a few calls for that particular pick, and the Titans went ahead and decided to move up. So, I mean, in retrospect, they give up one of their fifth-round picks because they had 2 picks in every round. So they still have 2 4s, they have a 5 and 2 6s left. So they still got plenty of picks left in this draft. But, I mean, wow, this draft has been, I have to say, this has probably been the craziest, most confusing draft I have ever been a part of as a Tennessee Titans fan.
It has. And, of course, a guy that I think you liked in Jalen Tolbert just went at 88 to Dallas.
Yep. And and so everybody, we're going to bring it back up to speed. Let's start from the beginning. Of night 2, and then we're going to definitely go back to night 1 because I want to get your thoughts on night 1 as well. So, obviously, the saddest news of all is that downtown A.J. Brown, he's gone, children. He's gone.
He's no more.
He's gone, children, and it hurts. It hurts like hell that he's gone.
It does.
But they get Traylon Burks, and then so they get that pick, and they got pick 101 in the 3rd round. So they eventually had 2 3rd round picks. Then at 26, they get out of the 1st round, get a 2nd round pick, and they also get another 3rd. They get another 3rd, so they move up from 101 to 69, but they give up 101 to Philly. So they get an extra 2nd and an extra 5th round pick. At 35, I'm thinking the Titans might go wide receiver again or possibly quarterback. I'm thinking they were going to go wide receiver. Maybe it was a little too early for Trey McBride, but I've seen quite a few guys go extremely earlier than I thought. In this draft. And we're definitely going to get to some of your comments again. Philip, thank you so much for the super chat. I truly do appreciate that. X Factor said, got some linebackers that will be steals if they fall. I mean, the Kobe Dean we just saw go to Philly, which Philly has been killing it in this draft. And we go with Robert McCreary at 35, and I was puzzled by that. Like, did we really need a corner?
I was shaking my head thinking, why?
Exactly, and I know
What
um, a lot of people are probably thinking, like, what is J. Rob's plan? I mean, right now, I don't know if there is a real plan because I like the fact Malik Willis is there. We'll get to that in a minute, but I mean, I don't really know what the plan is right now that the Titans have. So they select Robert McCreary from Auburn at 35. I mean, I don't know if this says, hey, we're maybe not 100% certain on Caleb Farley, or they're just thinking, you know what, some of these other teams are going to have high-powered offenses. We better have some more. We
depth?
better have some more corners. And of course, saying we picked up, went up and everything. We picked Malik. So excited to say we are rebuilding. Um, my brother
I,
Christian coming in. He's a Bengals fan. Shout out to my brother. Of course, I'm spending time with him here in Tampa, Florida. Yeah, it might be getting close to that time because I mean, and Lee, I'm finna get your thoughts. Remember what I said, y'all, about a few weeks ago talking about quarterbacks. Malik Willis is going to become one of the most popular people on this team because if Malik Willis at least shows something in training camp, he's not going to play right away.
mm,
And the Raiders at the 90th pick my guy from Memphis, Dylan Parham, the guard from the University of Memphis, and we needed guard help. Dang, I hate to see him going out west, but I think there's still some pretty good guards available. But I would have liked that pick if that was us. But
which I can tell you right now because I am looking at the board right now. Marquise Hayes out of Oklahoma is still there.
yep,
Um, Lectus Smith out of Virginia Tech, the guard out of Virginia Tech is still there. Thayer Munford, the guard out of Ohio State. Jason Poe out of Mercer. Justin Schaefer, and then possibly a guy out of Boston College, Alec Lindstrom.
yeah. Now, Alec Lindstrom, I thought was one of my dark horse picks. I don't think Darian Kennard, who's a tackle from Kentucky, has been picked yet. Daniel Falele is another one I don't think has been picked yet either at tackle, but we just went tackle, so I think they're going to probably look at a guard or maybe a center, somebody to replace Ben Jones eventually. Let's see. Cutter Boy, one of my frat brothers. What's up? Blue Five, my brother. We're going to talk about this AJ trade in just a bit, y'all. I guarantee you that because it probably looks like the Titans are done for the night. We're definitely going to talk about that, and I'm going to give y'all my thoughts in just a bit. But Robert McCreary at 35, I just thought was puzzling because, I mean, Sky Moore was there. You really could
Which
have went a couple of receivers.
I think Sky Moore went to Kansas City, didn't he?
He did go to Kansas City in, I want to say, pick 52, if I'm not mistaken. It was in the 50s, I know that. Of course, CJ says super late. Reggie B saying bye, Tannehill. You know, they say it looks like Tannehill getting kicked eventually. Yeah, Tannehill, his days are very much numbered. I
Yeah,
think a lot of people saying the Willis pick makes the pain go away. AJ's going to miss out. He's very talented, and I think if he's willing to be coached and put it together, Malik Willis could be very, very good. Desmond Ritter, I believe, went to Atlanta.
yes, to back up Marcus, I think.
So what's up, Bruce James Realty? I appreciate you. Josh Boy Gaming likes Malik Willis. I mean, I'll say this. Here's what I like and don't like about the pick, and it's I think the talent is there. I think he needs to kind of learn some stuff, learn some control. You know, he's got an arm. He has a cannon of an arm, and he can run. So he's definitely a dual threat. I just don't want him to rely so much on running the ball as more as getting better and passing the ball.
Yep.
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was agreeing with you.
And so, again, Philip, thank you again. Thank you for the super chat. I definitely appreciate that. Titans of Truth Live. We got Mr. Lee Hillis, aka 615 Pod from the 615 Podcast, joining us. I'm kind of trying to do some double duty.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm kind of doing a little double duty between the Titans picks and, of course, the Grizzlies are playing right now against the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 6. Hopefully that the Grizzlies find a way to go ahead and finish the Timberwolves off, finish this team off so we can get ready for Golden State. Josh Boy saying he could potentially be Steve McNair. I don't think anybody will ever be Steve McNair, but
there will never be another Steve McNair. Never.
I agree, but he is very McNair-esque. And
he's slippery like McNair was.
Very much so. And now, of course, the looking back at this game, the Grizzlies cutting back in to the lead, 69-65. They're falling behind with Minnesota, but they're catching up. But we've looks like we've made all of our picks tonight. We made all of our picks tonight, CJ, on that. So we still have 2 4th-rounders, a 5th, and 2 6th-rounders in the draft. And they've cut it to 1. So expect J-Rob to do some more trading around. I hate Trey McBride goes to Arizona. I was really hoping he might be there at 69. But Malik Willis, I think, does kind of help me somewhat take a little bit of the pain away from AJ being traded. So, what do you think about Malik Willis? What does this say about Ryan Tannehill?
Well, it definitely means that Tannehill's days are numbered.
I agree with that. Definitely. And if y'all see me looking back, I'm looking at the Grizzly game as well. So I'm doing double duty. So the Grizzlies cutting it to 2. So I'm doing a little bit of double duty here, y'all. But yeah, I agree. And I think in the end, this could be a good pick. Like I said, he's got to develop. He's got some work to do. And if he gets to sit back for a year and learn. The only thing I don't like about this is that you picked him in the 3rd round. So, I mean, you do get some value. You do get some value and everything. But you only get 4 years. So you don't get that extra 5th year. And he's not going to play next year unless Tannehill completely stinks.
And just blows it.
Because, like I said, Malik Willis is going to be one of the most popular guys on the team now. Because if Tannehill screws up, the fans are going to be calling for Malik Willis to go in. And if he goes in, starts and does some things well, there's no turning back. You can't go back to Tannehill. Now, that might very well mean, you know what, we're starting over, but, this gives Malik Willis time to get chemistry with Treylon Burks, who got picked up, and this gives him time to also get with Austin Hooper and things like that. And so this could end up being a very good pick. So let's kind of backtrack a little bit. What were your thoughts first on the Treylon Burks pick before we talk A.J. Brown? What were your thoughts when Treylon Burks got selected? I mean, I know it's after the fact of A.J. Brown getting traded, but what were your thoughts on Treylon Burks being picked?
Well, I'm going to tell you something funny. So, I had Matt Rogers on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I was like, just you watch. J-Rob is going to trade up. and pick Traylon Burks.
Mm-hmm.
And little did I know, A.J. Brown was going to be traded. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh man. Back, it's a 7-point game. Grizzlies down 7 right now.
Now, but we still got a fourth quarter to play, so I'm not worried. But Minnesota's a pesky team, y'all. But this is, I like the Traylon Burks pick anyway.
And I thought, oh man, turnover. Grizzlies got to quit being sloppy.
And they're being
Terrible.
sloppy right now. Not
Terrible about
good.
Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis being sloppy right now, and that's not good for anybody. But the Traylon Burks pick I thought was a very good pick, even if AJ was still on the team. And I thought that was a very good pick. I thought that he's very AJ-like. And, he has a lot of qualities about that are similar to AJ. And so, like Jarrett was talking about, he got a text from a SEC defensive coach and said, why did we trade AJ just to draft AJ? And,
That's a good question.
so, I mean, here's the thing about that. Yes, he's very AJ-like, but he ain't AJ Brown. Nobody will be AJ Brown. But Traylon Burks has some very AJ Brown-like qualities that I think will be very good with that. And Miss Mims, yep, I did see your Seahawks did take Kenneth Walker, running back from Michigan State, from your Michigan State Spartans, so I wanted to make sure I shouted that out. But I thought the Burks pick was going to be good. I thought, well, him and A.J. Brown could be together. But then,
Nope.
but when I heard the A.J. Brown trade, I looked on the draft night with Jared and TD and Chris Sanders. When I saw the trade, at first I thought, oh my God, this has got to be another super chat. This has got to be a joke. Like, hold up, is this for real? And then I kept looking up, and I look on Twitter, A.J. Brown got traded. My heart literally dropped. Malik Willis would be the most popular backup quarterback in the NFL. Non-Titan fans and media will push for him to play. That's how likable he is. He seemed like he's likable. Malik seems like he's likable. But, wow. I will say this. The A.J. Brown trade broke my heart in a whole lot of ways. And I just thought, and here's where I kept pondering about this. Who am I going to blame? Last night I was set. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, it's got to be partially on J-Rob.
And see, that's where I was going. I honestly thought I was going to be putting a whole lot of all the blame on J-Rob and the Titans because I felt like they gave up on him. I felt like they gave up on AJ. And with the press conference, I listened to it last night, and that was one of my comments. I said, when he said, you know what, I felt that there was not going to be any it was going to be hard to get something done. The gap was too far. And my comment was they gave up on AJ.
Yep.
And so some fans kind of came after me saying that I didn't know anything about the business aspect.
And
wow.
Minnesota's killing.
Panthers just went quarterback.
Oh,
Matt
this is going to be
Corral.
interesting. Matt Corral
to the Panthers. Wow, that's gonna be an interesting room. I mean, it looked like
there was going to be some room for possibly Blake Baker Mayfield, but looks like Baker Mayfield won't be going to Carolina. So
there's been 4 quarterbacks taken
in the
3
last
rounds.
round, in the last 2 rounds. Ritter goes in the second round. Malik Willis, Matt Corral in the third round, and
Kenny
who's
Pickett,
and Kenny Pickett. So
in the
4
first.
quarterbacks. Pickett was the only one that went in the first round.
Ritter,
And then Ritter in the second round, Malik Willis and Matt Corral in the third round. And X Factor says Tannehill has to be sweating, traded his best weapon away, drafted the next QB, and haven't added any weapons. He's down bad. And
yep.
before we continue talking about A.J. Brown, A to Z Sports put this out. So when Traylon Burks got picked, he's already gotten, I think Kevin Byard tweeted, "Welcome to the team." I think I forgot who tweeted who already reached out to him. Ben Jones and
Robert Woods.
Robert Woods have already reached out to Traylon Burks, but you haven't heard none from Tannehill. Tannehill hasn't even reached out to Traylon Burks to say welcome to the team.
And that's the bad thing about Tannehill.
Right now, that is the bad thing. Is that it seemed like Tannehill doesn't care. I mean, you got a new teammate. You could at least had the common decency to say, "Hey, Traylon, congratulations on getting drafted. Welcome to the team."
Exactly, but he don't even have the decency to do that.
So that does look bad on Tannehill that when he gets drafted, he hasn't even been contacted by the quarterback that right now might be throwing him the ball. But I'm pretty sure Tannehill somewhere in Florida, when they see quarterback, he poked up like, "What?"
I think me personally, and I think I've even told you this. I think this is it on Tannehill.
Yeah, this is his last year. And this is his last year. He'll be gone after this year anyway.
Plus his
Titan
cap
J-Rob,
hit. His cap hit.
Yeah, Jim White tweeting out saying John Robinson said Malik Willis' role will be determined by how quickly he learns the offense. It's going to take him some time. It's going to take him some time. He's going to have to learn the offense. And, again, got some great value. So he's got to learn the offense and everything, but this could end up being a steal.
And the Bengals just went defense.
Yeah, Zach Carter.
Defensive tackle Florida. I wonder how my brother feels about that. I think they needed help on the offensive line.
I was saying, call him in there.
Yeah, maybe I have to bring him in here. I may have to bring him in here for a bit. I might get him on for just a bit. I might try to. Yeah, he's in there with my mom right now watching the Grizzly game.
So, I mean, this is.
And Colts pick is in at 96.
I mean, the Colts. I don't know.
And that's another good question. So we've talked about Traylon Burks getting picked. We talked a little bit about the A.J. Brown trade. Out the Crib Customs. Hey, if y'all want a hat like this, hit my guy Out the Crib Customs up at out_the_crib_customs. If y'all want a hat like this one, hit my guy up. He won't let you down. That much is a promise. So what's up Out the Crib? So, it's right.
And of course, Colts just went safety.
They're trying to fix that defense.
Nick Cross out of Maryland.
Never heard of him.
And of course, we're heading into the back end of the third round.
So
we're at pick 97.
Yeah, we could have had, instead of 69, we would have had 90 and 101, but we gave up 101 to get 69, but we also got that 35th pick. So, again, The AJ Brown trade. What were your thoughts on that when you saw it happen? What was your feeling?
Oh, there were, when I say too many emotions in this for me, too many. I think I don't know if I told you this or not. I went through 3 emotions all at one time.
I can understand.
Like, I thought I was going to be sick as a dog. I felt hurt. And I felt angry.
Yeah, I was.
Because you have to think about what AJ has done for this team.
Yes.
He's went above and beyond. He's done more than what you could ask for.
I agree. And here's, I'm with you because I felt, I'm like, I felt like I was shocked, confused, and just, I felt like I was living in a nightmare all at the same time.
Yep.
It felt like that. I felt I was in a nightmare. And I just was praying, wake me up, let me know that this is a dream.
Slap me around just a little bit.
Slap me, just tell me this is a dream, this is not real. But it is. And it tore me apart. I think I had to cry myself to sleep last night.
I almost did.
I cried myself to sleep. Well, I didn't actually cry myself to sleep, but figuratively I did. Who's that?
Your boy out of Memphis, Calvin Austin.
If the Titans don't pick Calvin Austin, if he's available and they don't pick him, I'm already mad at J-Rob as it is. Just don't make it worse for me. So, I mean, we need another receiver. We may need 2 more receivers in this draft.
I think I saw you tweet that we need to get 1, if not 2 more.
I said instead of doubling, we might have to triple down on the wide receiver.
And, of course, the reason it hurts so bad?
You got that. Hey, I have my A.J. Brown jersey with me right now. I was going to wear it to see. I'm going to SeaWorld tomorrow, and ride a couple of coasters and maybe see if I can catch Shamu. I was going to wear my A.J. Brown jersey, and I'm like, I can't wear it now because he's not a Titan anymore. Out the Crib says, I am still sick about that trade. I agree. I'm out. I thought I was going to feel better after this trade. After last night, I still don't. It's going to be very hard for me to get over this. But
as I said, think about everything that AJ has done.
Now, here's the thing. Now, some information came out today with TD. AJ basically saying this is not my fault. That, that the offer was $16 million with incentives
to take it to 20.
That would make it up to 20. He stopped communication with the team, turned that down, and according to the Titans, they made one more offer, and he turned that down too. And it seemed like he wanted more than the $25 million that the Eagles gave him. He said if they had offered him 22, he would have accepted. So it does.
What I would have done,
yeah,
is I would have gave him an offer that would have been around 22 and a half. And then give him an extra $2.5 million on incentives per year.
I probably would have did like $20 million I probably would have did like 20 million, and with incentives, it would have made it like maybe 22, 23. Because I said, y'all, I said 4 years, I said 5 years, 115 million. That would be about 23 million a year. Maybe give about 60. I'd say about 60 million guaranteed. Guarantee at least the first 3 years. And then that way, after that, you could get out of that after 3 years. That's probably what I would have done. So Sin City Titan popping in. Right now, Willis is our quarterback of the future right now.
I would rather have him start for us over Tannehill.
He needs time to be ready. I think next year he will be the starter, but he needs time. But if he develops quicker and Tannehill stinks, hand over the reins.
Ooh, Washington just went quarterback or running back.
Well,
Brian Robinson Jr.
And that's not a bad pick. Brian Robinson is pretty decent. Yeah, I agree. We could have afforded AJ. And that was what I was thinking at first, was that I thought the Titans gave up on AJ. And I was going to really say 90-10. That I was really going to put all the blame on the Titans. Now, hearing some of this coming out, I scaled it back to about 70-30. I put 70% of the blame on the Titans that this fell apart, and about 30% on AJ, because AJ, he was on social media and, with the whole Deebo Samuel thing. And then, he took Titans off of his Twitter. And then a lot of people thought, well, he was throwing the ball around with Jalen Hurts, that was something too. I didn't really think nothing of that.
I knew the second he took I can't hear you.
What's that?
I was saying I couldn't hear you.
No, I was saying that the whole thing on social media, he took Titans off of Twitter.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Deebo Samuel. And then Philip comes in with another super chat. I appreciate this. I think AJ and J-Rob didn't have the best relationship. I think AJ felt J-Rob misled about drafting Elijah Moore and about AJ's mental health situation. I don't know if I exactly agree with that. I mean, there probably was something a little rocky. I think AJ probably did feel some type of way that Elijah Moore wasn't picked. But the AJ mental health situation, I think the Titans tried to give him all the support and help that he needed, if there was any. And I think he was trying to bring awareness to mental health, which was a good thing. But I think the Titans did a whole lot of supporting of him on that, to be honest. But it did sound like some things did get rocky. Although, and remember, y'all, a lot of the time, remember, Deebo's agent is AJ's agent as well. A lot of the times with these contracts, it's not necessarily the player, it's more the agent.
Because the agents want more of this.
Exactly.
Because I think, if I stand corrected, agents get around between 5 and 8%
of whatever the contract. Yep. And that's what it is. They probably feel the more money they get their client, the more money they get.
And I feel like all these agents are trying to do is line their own pockets.
I agree 100% with that. And so that's where I blame a little bit of this on AJ, putting some of that stuff out. I don't think the whole thing with Jalen Hurts really was a big deal.
Well,
but what I didn't like was, Tannehill was working out with Mason Kinsey and Dez Fitzpatrick, but you didn't see him throwing the ball around with AJ. But there was a picture with Logan Woodside throwing to guys like NWI. But who else was there? AJ Brown was there. So was there a little friction between him and Tannehill at some point?
Probably.
Maybe that's a question.
And what I'm fixing to say is Memphis needs to wake up.
I agree. Because right now we're down 5 with 8:31, about to be down maybe 6. I mean, I feel like this. If Memphis goes ahead and closes this series out, which I'm hoping that they do, the
Huh.
Warriors are going to be a big problem.
How did that series go?
Warriors are already done. They're waiting.
So
So
did they sweep the series?
no, they won it, I believe, 4-2. They won it 6. So it took them a little bit longer to take care of Denver, but they're already taking care of Denver. They're waiting on the winner of this series. And right now it's 92-86. Grizz down 6. So I agree. Grizz need to wake up. So not going to be on a little bit too much longer because the draft is about to wrap. It's pretty much wrapping up. And the Grizz got a good shot there. They're down 4, 92-88. So y'all forgive me. Y'all know I'm doing double duty. But quickly,
Don't feel bad. I am too.
but don't. But quickly though, we'll definitely talk more about this AJ Brown trade. That's going to get a lot talked about on Wednesday. Roger McCreary. I know we didn't need a corner. Maybe do you think they went best player available? What did you think of the Roger McCreary pick?
I felt, I think, the same way you did. You were questioning, like, what's going on? Because
Yeah.
I was scrolling through Twitter, and that's how I found out before they even announced it. And I agree, we didn't really need corner, and there were better players than him available.
I agree. I thought there was quite a few better players than him on the board.
And one name I'm fixing to give, Bernard Raymond.
I don't think Raymond went later in the second round. I wouldn't have picked him that early.
I thought he went third round.
Well, Bernard Raymond went late second round or early third round. I can't remember, but he went to the Colts. So
Both the Colts and the Ravens screwed me.
yeah, and I mean, and here's
I
another
had
thing.
Jelani Wood
Yep.
went to Indy, and then the Ravens turned right around and take Travis Jones, which was my number 4 interior defensive lineman.
Yeah, and
Raymond went at 77
okay, so he was in the third round.
to Indy.
Yeah. So Raymond did go in the third round, but yeah, I mean, Roger McCreary. I mean, this could end up being a decent pick. I don't know if this says more about Caleb Farley or anything.
What I had read is that they're feeling like that Caleb Farley will not be ready for the opener.
And that probably sounds correct because
So I think that's the reason they drafted McCreary was as like a safety.
an insurance policy.
Yes.
An insurance policy. And I mean, let's see, 6-point game, but you never can have enough corners in this type of league.
What I would do on day 3, of course, I would probably go Calvin Austin there in the 4th at 131.
Nice floater by Tyus Jones there, 94-91, Minnesota on top. But yeah, if Calvin Austin is there for us, if the Titans don't take him, J-Rob
Needs to be fired.
tick me off.
And
CJ, yes, everybody smash that like button if you haven't already. Definitely hit that like button. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're just having a good conversation in the middle of a playoff game. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you will get content when we go live. And also, make sure y'all subscribe to the 615 podcast as well because he does pump out some great work.
And of course, I'm currently live going through and putting out mock drafts or draft picks as they come in.
So that is something very well too. So y'all go ahead and smash that like button as well. But Titans and Truth live, Titans and Truth tonight here, and Yeah, the McCreary pick. I mean, this might end up being a good pick because we could never have enough corners with the way this league is going, and we're going to be facing a lot of big time quarterbacks. We got to face
Russell
all the
Wilson,
quarterbacks. We got to face all the quarterbacks in the AFC West.
which the AFC West is loaded now.
Stacked. You got to face all those guys. You got to face Joe Burrow, Matt
You gotta
Ryan
face the
twice
NFC
a year.
East. The whole
We got to
NFC
face
East.
Dak. Jalen Hurts. We're going to see A.J. Brown later.
I would love for that to be our season opener.
That would be very interesting at home. I was hoping for multiple linemen drafted by the start of the fourth round. And we're going to get into that other draft pick in just a minute. Because I don't want to disrespect Mr. Nicholas Petit Ferreri. Because,
Which- I don't know a whole lot about him. But of course the Jets just went tight end.
wow. Which one?
Jeremy Ruckert.
Oh, man. He was one that I thought would be a kind of a, I think I may have had him one of my top five because...
He just went at 101. So who's
Wow.
left? James Mitchell from Virginia Tech.
K. Otto, K. Odden, I believe is still available. Chika Kwankwo could be still available as well.
Daniel
the Titans have not
Bellinger.
Yep, Daniel Bellinger. We have not addressed the tight end position yet.
Charlie Kohler is still available.
He's a dark horse that I really like. Is Charlie
Jake
Kohler.
Ferguson. Jake Ferguson out of
Now,
Wisconsin.
TD said, he didn't really do a lot on him, but he says he's a well-rounded tight end. What's
And
up,
of course-
DO9?
And of course, my guy's still available.
Who's that?
Jalen Weidermeyer.
Watermeyer might be going in like the 6th round. I mean, he might go undrafted. So that would be very interesting. And also,
But-
Isaiah
and of course-
Likely. Isaiah
still-
Likely is available as well.
Connor Hayward.
Yep. And so, this McCreary pick might be okay. I didn't think we should have went defense first. I think we could have went another receiver at that
Yeah.
point.
One guy that I would like to see is Smoke Monday out of Auburn.
I just like the name.
But the reason I like him is he's of course he's a safety, but he can play down in the box, sort of how we did with Dane Cruikshank.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be pretty good. We're going to need another safety at some point. We're definitely going to need another safety at some point.
Miami just went Channing Tindall out of Georgia, the linebacker.
Yeah, I definitely like that. And Philip puts in another guy, Cole Turner from Nevada as well. He was one of my sleepers with that. So I definitely like that. But before we do get out of here, let's quickly talk about, we've talked about Malik Willis. We've talked about McCreary a little bit as a battle-tested corner. Battle-tested in the SEC, went up against Burks before he went up against guys like Jameson Williams and some of these guys before. So I do like that and everything. So that pick might be better. I just didn't like it at the spot that we were at. Tie game at 94. And Desmond Bain, another hot night. I love me some Desmond Bain.
You know who I would like to see hit the game winner?
Who's that?
Ja Morant.
Ja has to hit Ja got the game winner in game 5 and another 3 from Minnesota. So it's a 3-point game for Minnesota.
But, of course, that tackle out of Ohio State, okay, hang on. Kansas City's picks in
Yeah. But
at 103.
They picked Nicholas Petit Ferreri from Ohio State at 69. Tighten up from Zach Carpenter. Thank you for the super chat. And the Grizzlies get a steal. He had Oh, big three by Dylan the Villain. 97 all with 5 minutes to go. Big three from Dylan the Villain. And wow, Bearded One says the NFL finally tired of the passing league, curious about all the defensive backs being picked. I mean, you got to have some defensive backs. Grizzlies get the ball back. Dylan Brooks to the hole. Oh. And I think they called a foul there on Minnesota. So, is it?
And wait,
I think
this is the Rams' first pick in the draft.
Oh, dang. Dylan Brooks just fouled out. Ah, that's not good.
It's for Rams.
Ah, he moved a little. Dang. But let's get out of here on this note. Let's talk a little bit about Nicholas Petit-Ferreri. Now, I'm with you. I didn't really know a lot about him in particular. But he does seem, the Titans have they did some research on him. Brought him in for a visit.
I think Vrabel probably got some insight from Luke Fickell.
Well, he probably got some insight, definitely with Ohio State because, he's from, he went to Ohio State.
And him and Luke Fickell are like that.
And he's also probably really close with, what's his name? Ryan Day. From.
Yeah. Well,
with Ryan Day.
Why I say Luke Fickell? Ryan Day. Luke Fickell's in Cincinnati.
Yeah, which he did get some information on him as well, with Desmond Ridder and some of these other guys. But
Alec Pierce
going to the Colts, man, that's interesting.
That's one guy that I liked.
And so, wow. But I did like what I saw with Petit-Ferreri. He basically said, look, I'm excited to play. And he's already talked to the coaches saying, what can I do to be ready for mini camp? I want to come in as a veteran. I want to come in like a veteran. So he's already like, I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to be coached. Seems like a hardworking guy. Seems like he's a guy that could really do some good. Let's see, Jay Porter saying, let's go Grizz. It's 90. Wow, 14 and 12 for Triple J, but he got 5 fouls too. And Dylan Brooks being out, that's a pretty big deal. TSR video saying, let's go with Malik Willis. Let's see, Brandon Clark. I'm trying to see what the Grizzlies do here. I just hope that the Grizzlies don't rush things. I don't need this to be a Game 7, but Petit-Ferreri seems like a guy that he's going to be ready to come in and work hard. I definitely it sounds like he has very good work ethic, and he can definitely come in and compete.
I could say the same thing about Malik Willis.
Yeah, I think he's going to be ready to come in and compete as well. So the bearded one says, I am not happy about Malik Willis at all. I'm really trying hard to be supportive. I mean, I'm kind of puzzled by that pick.
And, of course, the last pick is Ian.
Of the third round.
But the Rams just went Logan Bruss out of Wisconsin, the guard out of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin does pump out good offensive linemen.
That is true. And the final pick, who is it of the third round? I know it's San Francisco, but...
But, Malik Willis might be the guy. Let's see, Malik Willis or what the Titans are getting. They're getting somebody that loves the game and loves his teammates. I just want to come in and be the best teammate I could be. That's Malik Willis. Looks like that was tweeted by my guy TD Teron Davenport on this. And somebody thinks that this could be a steal.
And
let's
49ers.
And look at this. Terry McCormick, I'm going to see if I can share this. I'm going to share this screen before we get out of here. Let's see. Let's see what happened here. I'm gonna share this screen. I'm gonna share this screen right quick, and we're gonna get ready to wrap things up because I'm gonna finish watching this game. But take a look at this. Do you see this tweet from J Rob from the Titans with J Rob saying he didn't consult Ryan Tannehill about this? He did not consult with Ryan Tannehill when it comes to this pick. So that could tell you right now, they're basically saying, Tannehill, you own borrowed time. John Glennon says, Willis says, I learned the college playbook when I got to college, so I can learn the NFL playbook.
And of course, I'm looking right now, and it's a nail biter in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's by 2. It's a 2-point game
99,
right
97.
now. So it's a 2-point game. It's a nail biter. So I'm definitely finna go with that. But McCreary, JS75 asking about McCreary. Again, I think he's a good corner, battle tested. Watched him against Penn State. I thought he did pretty well against Jahan Dotson. And definitely, Traylon Burks talked about him, saying, hey, he's a very tough matchup and everything. So, Traylon Burks basically said, hey, you might be getting a good one with him. And Petit Frere, I hope I get to see what he's about. I'm going to look at some film on him. And we will definitely talk about Petit Frere probably on Wednesday. Bearded One says, why would you consult Tannehill? And look, only reason I mentioned it because I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny that happened. So that's all I'm saying when it comes to that. But again, the pick, a couple of these picks I do feel a little bit better about these picks. We still need to get tight end. We need another wide receiver. We probably could use a guard. I wouldn't mind 2 wide receivers. I mean, we still got 2 4th rounds, a 5th, and 2 6th rounders. J Rob is going to be doing some moving around. I believe Daniel.
You know who I would grab in a heartbeat?
Who's that?
Calvin Austin.
Well, you mentioned that, and I like that pick too.
Tyquan Thornton went before he did.
Yeah, went to the Patriots. I was shocked by that. I did not think Thornton was going to go that early.
But of course, I put together some stuff for pregame or for pre-draft tonight, and I literally said that the Patriots reached last night.
Yeah, they did. I think.
Cole Strange
honestly,
been there in 3rd.
Yeah, I think they reached on Cole Strange in round 1, and I think they reached here with Tyquan Thornton. I think they definitely reached when it comes to that. So Malik said, I'm just blessed to have a place to go. Yeah, there's a lot of the tight ends are definitely gone. So
I'm going to ask you this before we head out. Would you be mad if we went and got Jalen Weidermeyer in the 4th or 5th round, if he's there?
I would say 5th or 6th round, perhaps. I wouldn't be too mad about that. I still think a couple of guys that I think are still out there, like I said, Kolar, Okonkwo, Isaiah Likely. There are still some very good tight ends out there.
And, of course, one guy that I would like to have had, Greg Dulcich.
Yeah, Dulcich went earlier too. All right, 1-point game, 3 minutes to go. Grizzlies need to get a stop, and they do. So it's a 1-point game, but everybody, I'm finna hop off, watch the last few minutes of this game. We're gonna reconvene on Wednesday. Lee, before we get out of here, and you're definitely welcome to come back on Wednesday, where can they find you with your great content?
Yeah, of course, you can find me on YouTube at the 615 podcast, on Instagram at the _ 615 podcast, or on Twitter at podcast 615, and on Spotify at the 615 podcast.
All right. Well, there it is right there. And 615, I appreciate you. The Grizzlies getting some offensive rebounds up to with 2.5 minutes to go. Everybody, we're going to reconvene on Wednesday, and we're going to talk about the full draft recap. Grizzlies get another shot. They're up 4. And so we're going to definitely talk about the whole draft, what they do on day 3, and I will give a final grade on that. And I might be able to have Ken Moore come and join us. I'm going to definitely see about that. So,
and I might have to try to steal you on maybe the 13th of
we'll definitely discuss that.
May.
We'll definitely discuss that. I know I might be doing something with the schedule release on that. That's definitely going to be coming up soon on May the 12th. So, behalf of myself, my guy Lee of 615 Podcast, thank y'all for tuning in to TNT tonight. I will be hollering at y'all soon, and we are going to tighten up because that's all we know how to do. Lee, thank you, man. I appreciate you. You have a good rest of your night.
No problem, and thanks for having me on to go through this day 2.
Absolutely. So I appreciate you, and you have a good night.
You too.
And everybody, let's tighten up because that's all we know how to do.